could go either way, and I guess we're gonna have to let the crowd decide who they want to win. As I introduce for the last time in this series from Lowland Lions, it is Melle.
And in the bottom left, we have the blue Zerg from Team ATThisGameSuck. It's a Swedish. This game suck. Kind of hard, tough poll, to be honest.
It is a tough poll, and I think it's fair to say that these players have been performing admirably this whole series. So should be good. I mean,
they're very straightforward games. You know, it's like player one, played a certain style with a certain timing and strategy in mind, and it just worked. So what kind of if they're both playing with that same determinism in this game, what are we going to see?
One thing to notice, Jeroen, since I've been casting the Dutch StarCraft League since this morning, don't think I've seen one actual really bad cheese. What about you?
Well, no. We had Darko Micron versus. He took one game off red, where he started with a pylon and a gateway in his natural, denying the fastest fan for as long as possible, and ended up taking that game, but taking it to the long game. So, yeah, actual cheeses? Not really.
I think I'm gonna have to make a sign for the grand finals when I'm sitting in the crowd with "We demand cheese," because we've had not much of that. But it's also good to see that these guys are very confident in taking each other out in the macro game. That does show a lot about their skill as well. I mean, if you're confident in a situation like that, you think you can beat that guy.
Yeah, a lot of players will refer to some cheeses as coin flips, sort of giving that the indication that the player who performs it really doesn't have much of a chance in a straight-up game. But this tournament, that's certainly not the case. We do have is this the Nexus first? Yep, it is, from Melle. Oh, he's actually trying to block the expansion as well, and doesn't manage to block it, with the Swelling Pool almost finishing there in the natural. And yeah, Nexus already on their way.
Yep, Forge after that. I don't know if we're gonna see some Lynx trying to get into the base, but I don't think so. Gateway on the way as well, and a pylon after that. Once again, looking almost the same as last game. On this map, though, I mean, with some overlords, you will always see the air units coming from your opponent's base if you send them through the obvious paths, and it's quite easy to control the middle with some swarm hosts, like you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that's very popular on this map. I'm guessing that ATG could actually go for that, and I'm wondering how Melle is going to respond to that.
Looking at the third of TGS, he really wants to take that quite early, and he does.
Yeah, he does.
But it does get scouted by Melle, and this is, of course, probably in the response, to the Nexus first expand of Melle after this overloading and the natural of Melle managed to scout it. So yeah, it's seen both players in pretty good economic shape so far, and the decision really is which player will decide to hit the timing or be aggressive first.
Yep, I don't know about that, but so far I like to play from both players. I mean, this is a map where you can expand quite early on and get away with it. And I think right now that ATS is doing the right thing by taking a third base so early, because it's quite easily defended if you keep the units around here and you creep spread a little bit. You should be safe against anything on the ground, and if you put a few overlords around this spot, you should see any air forces incoming and respond to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's pretty much only one way from your opponent to attack you, which is either from the air, which is the second way, and the first way is, of course, straight, by the watchtower.
Yeah, by the watchtower.
And yeah, otherwise your opponent will have to detour, and of course that's an option to take. But if you maintain a bit of map control in this map, it's very hard to not see an attack from your opponent coming.
And that's what Zergs like. They like to respond to attacks from their opponents when they see it coming. And on a map like this, it's really easy. But enough about the map. Let's go back to the game. And so far, I really expected it as well. I see a Stargate once again from Melle.
See a Stargate once again here from Melle. Almost his signature strategy so far in PvZ, I have to say.
Yep.
Has there been a single game where we haven't seen Melle this tournament go for a Stargate build in the mid game? I don't think there has, actually. And clearly, he feels very comfortable with it. And this time, he's also getting quite an early +1 attack on his fort. So we might see a very nice void-based +1 zealot timing here from him.
Yep, we might. It looks like this time he's not overstaying with the zealot and the stalker. He did poke in a little bit. Shot one Zergling, intimidating a little bit, hopefully forcing some units, but he did not. Yep, no overreaction from our Swedish player, just drones. And that's the response you should do something like that. He is chasing it with the links, but not much will happen.
Yep. One Linger being taken out in the middle of the map. Melle now has map control, and he already has a proxy pylon here underway, right in the middle of the map, near the fancy looking DSCL logo. So yeah, Void round the way, gateway almost, warp gate almost finished. +1 still needs more than a minute and a half to finish, but wow, we're definitely going to see a big timing coming here out of Melle. And the gates actually get spotted by the Overlord of TGS in the main. Very important pickup here by him, and he's gonna see warp gates finishing. He's gonna have to defend. And what's the correct unit to make here? Well, it's not really links because as we saw in the previous game, +1 zealots are really good against those, and Zergling's speed has not even finished.
Yep, Void Race and Zealots is probably what we're gonna see a lot, like we saw already once from Melle, and that was the first game, right, when he managed to win with that.
Yeah.
And
So many links though.
so many links, and that was the problem. There was not enough units hitting the Void Race, and the Queens went down to the Zealots. So let's hope for a Swedish player we don't see an extra version of that. Looks like he is making extra Queens this time around, also adding Spore Fellows once again. But this battle is commencing, and the Zealots are actually ripping through those Zerglings.
Oh, such a smart move, just bypassing the third, knowing that those Queens have a long time to get up there. There's no link speed. There's no spines here at the natural. There was one, but it's taken out right now. And now the fight here is commencing. And is he going to try and make his way into the main? No, he's trying to split his forces, slicing up all of these links, but having a much harder time against the roaches here at the top of the ramp.
Yeah, having a hard time, but still trading decently against them. I don't know where the Void Rays are right now. Did they get taken out?
No, one is still alive, but it has almost. Oh, there it goes. Queen's managed to take it out at the natural.
Now, there we go.
But yeah, the roaches here are doing a very good job actually at cleaning up, and there's no Void Ray support. So it kind of looks like that. Is TGS going to hold on?
I think so. It looks like it right now. The Void Rays got taken out, the Zealots got denied, and not that much damage has been done. If we go to the unit step right now, he's ahead in drones. He's got a lot of roaches and Zerglings out. I don't think this was worth it for Melle, and I think he realized that taking a third base, this attack is definitely over.
Yeah, he's taking a third base, but he's still warping in units at the front, which kind of surprises me. And yeah, we see more links. Roach is still scouring around the third, trying to be defensive. Still a few in production now. Upgrades as well for them on the way. And actually 6 Overlords were produced at the same time. And that's usually an indicator that the Zerg wants to mass up and go for a big attack.
Yep, that is an indicator. And we see counterattack by some links, might deny this third base. While these Zealots are once again trying to do some damage, but these Queens are being microed quite effectively here. No transfusion goes down. These Void Rays might go down once again, being retreated right. But so much damage, and this third base did get cancelled. He's even trying to poke in the front. Not going to do that, though. More and more Zealots. And this is a lot of Zealots right now, Jeroen.
Yeah, there is actually quite a lot. And one of the more important factors of damages, though, in these fights are the Void Rays, because they're kind of untouchable, except for by the Queens and the Hydras, which have now started to pop out. Zealots are once again trying to slice up roaches. But yeah, there's just too much Zerg, really.
Yeah, there are a lot of Zerg units still in the fray here, and we see that 2 Void Rays are retreating, and once again this got repelled. But this time he did lose his third base that was constructing in the meanwhile, so not the best trade for Melle once again. You see that the supply is still acceptable, but I think in the long run he's gonna lose if he continues.
He's in a dire position, I would say. He's warped in an additional warp gate at his wall in order to defend, and he's now once again reinforcing, this time adding on a mothership core, a couple more Void Rays. He's up to 4 Void Rays at this point. Worker count is not that far from each other, but 3 base versus 2 base, it's not looking too good for Melle in terms of economy.
Nope, it's not, and I think this is gonna be once again an attack that he tries to take the Swedish guy down, but I don't know. He's still on 2 bases.
These Hydras are the main threat actually, because their DPS is just so incredibly high with the +1 attack, and they're quite effective, of course, against the Void Rays as well. So how is Melle gonna micro this? He needs to take this fight, but can he even win in the first place?
He's not gonna win this. Those Zealots are doing a good job slicing through the Zerglings, but they're all gone before they even get to the Hydras, and the Void Rays are just melting at this point. He knows he has to retreat. His tournament life in the DSCL is on the line right here, and the Void Rays are getting taken down. And congratulations to our Swedish player.
Indeed. TGS with an excellent defense here. Identified his opponent's attack right when he had to with the Overlord Scout. Knew that the gateway pressure was coming and adequately defended with Spores, Queens, and Roaches. It was a long fight, but still, the TGS came out on top.